Hello and welcome, my microscopic whales. How you doing on this wonderful day? We've got a kind of weird little challenge for you guys. We wanted to use 3 Dartling guns, all 3 different 5th tier Dartling guns. And we kind of want to see what we can do with them. How far can we get and how powerful are they actually in a real game here? So we're going to build all 3 of those guys. Let's just jump right into it. Here, our starting positioning really doesn't matter that much overall, because we can easily sell and rebuy things and all that stuff. It's not like there's no selling allowed. So at this point in the game, we're just going to build something that we know is going to be kind of easy to micro and just sort of manage a little bit here. So I want you guys to make a quick guesstimate and just estimate where you think we're going to make it today in this video. How far can 3 Dartling guns actually get us here? Technically I just set it to round 200 because I don't think we can make it to round 200 here. It would be unbelievable if 3 towers with just some support towers can make it to 200 or beyond that. So at this point, all I really wanted to do was, I think like 150 would be a pretty solid number, but I want to know what you guys think we're going to get to. And of course, if you guys haven't yet, pretty please press that like button for me and subscribe if you guys are enjoying this somewhat weird content. I feel like Dartling guns are still kind of like on my top tier things that I want to do and play around with and have fun with, and I'm hoping that you guys are also having fun with it. But soon I want to jump into some sort of cool challenges as well. That's definitely on the top tier things of what I'm planning for my channel here. But if you guys want to see something else in particular, let me know. I know that we've got a lot of other updates as well. For example, boomerangs are now ridiculous. Tack shooters are now not necessarily ridiculous, but can be pretty ridiculous. So I'm kind of excited to show off the other changes in the game as well, and whether or not their combo will actually be good. But we have to wait. So if you haven't seen yet, we've got 6 towers on the side of the screen here. We're going to talk about what we're going to do with them and why we decided to pick those guys to come with us here. I could have picked every single tower in the game, but I didn't want to, feel the need or the want to go jump in and try some extra towers in here. I just wanted to use some basic support towers. So first of all, farms. We've got to make some money here, right? I think the only way we're going to actually be able to afford any higher level Dartling guns is most definitely with a little bit of farms here. I've tried another game where I just built one 5th tier Dartling gun, and that was actually quite successful. We did overall well. But my biggest issue with that was definitely that I couldn't afford a second 5th tier Dartling gun. And then on top of that, we had to kind of just sell and buy, and it was just a very tight situation, but it did make it honestly quite exciting. Then I tried for a 2 Dartling gun game, where I was playing on medium, but on a really bad map for Dartling guns, and that was super stressful. With no farms, we could not only not afford our second 5th tier Dartling gun, we actually struggled to survive with a single 5th tier Dartling gun, and without that extra cash flow, it just doesn't go well at all. So you need that to happen. Dartling guns by themselves are not actually that good of a tower. You need those support towers to make them useful. And I think the key is definitely looking at the Dartling gun himself. The Bloon Exclusion Zone is definitely one of the best upgrades. He's just generally, from round 0 to 100, he's solid. I don't know if he can beat every single round by himself, but he's pretty much at that level at this point. So we're going to go for a Hydro Rocket Pods here. But you need to support him. He doesn't have any lead popping power, so his biggest weaknesses are definitely just regular leads, obviously, but also DDTs. And let's be honest here, anything around 90 to 100 has a lot of DDTs. It's not like you're easily walking around just popping these guys easily. Now, the other towers that we have to talk about are the Alchemist, alright? This guy is pretty important because he can just sort of generally power up your Dartling guns, and I think he's probably one of the best support towers for your Dartling gun just overall. Villages help, don't get me wrong, but it's more specifically for the BEZ. It's not really used for anything else. Most of the Dartling guns already have cam detection with their cross path, so that's not super important for us. It's more about getting that 3rd tier for super late game. And then last but not least, though, is definitely going to be our Engineer. If we're going to Ultra Boost this guy, $102,000. Again, no way you're going to afford that in a regular old game here, so you want to make sure you got the cash flow for that as well, and the only way that's going to happen is definitely with the support farms. As far as hero goes, we're definitely going Pat Fusty today, so out of all the heroes, I honestly don't know which one ends up giving you the biggest bonus or the biggest buff out of all of them, but I would generally say Pat is kind of your go-to guy if you're ever not sure on just buffing towers. His regular old ability here just gives everybody that much extra more popping power, but your problem with him is obviously you have to put him close, right? You got to put him right next to your Dartling guns. And I was thinking about it, and I don't know how I want to position my Dartling guns just yet. That's definitely going to be up to thought process for later on. But right now, that's not important at all. All we want to do is try and farm and get some money flowing. And once we get enough money, that's when we can start to make these things happen. So here's an extra laser cannon for us. We're going to get the faster spin barrel, not the powerful darts, even though powerful darts is technically better for our 3rd tier laser cannon so far. But once we upgrade them into the plasma accelerator, that's where faster spin barrel is definitely going to help us out a lot. So I got to talk about this really quick because I saw a misconception earlier that somebody was a little bit confused by on why I ended up going for a 203 or a 204 banana farm. What is up with that, Chris? Well, a long time ago, when BTD6 first originated, yeah, no joke here, guys, I did a really cool, really in-depth farm guide where I talked about which one is the most efficient banana farm. And it was kind of difficult to explain because banana farms work in somewhat mysterious ways, I would say, especially with banks. Banks make things really, really confusing. But it's all about how you buy the upgrades, what is the most efficient way to buy said upgrades, and how can you make them work in the most efficient way possible, right? There was no easy way around it. Everything was just goofy, all right? But the general consensus was that top tier, top path banana farms are the best, all right? 2-0-something, 3-0-something, 4-0-something, and 5-0-something are generally the best. And the best usually also is going to be a 3rd tier or 4th tier 4-2. All right. Now that's your go-to. If you have the ability to just build banana farms, man, that's usually your go-to. Now, if you aren't allowed to build banana farmers, which I cannot on my challenge mode right here, well, then you got to do something a little bit different. All right. Then you're going to have to want to say, well, how can I get rid of the ability to build banana farmers and not, you know, and have to still micro with your Dartling guns and pick up bananas at the same time? Well, the only other way to do that is to take the bottom path, all right? Well, actually, not the only way. There's both ways, actually. If you don't want to pick up bananas, if you're lazy, you can go banks or you can go marketplace. And generally speaking, I mean, if you just look at the bank, top path most efficient, kind of the most efficient depending on how you use them, technically the most efficient if you are perfect with them. And then bottom path is technically the least efficient, but again, not by a drastic margin here. Realistically, if you're farming, no matter what you're building, you're gaining money. So in my opinion, unless you're playing on a hardcore game mode that you really need to, you know, sandwich down and spend every single dollar properly, build any banana farm you want. But if you really want to talk about efficiency, you know, I think it's important to at least understand the basic concept of efficiency. You probably want to go for a 4-2, or if you're really good at microing, you want to go for those banks and think about investing properly. But of course, it requires, again, the most micro, the most management of your money. Put it in at the right time, take it out at the right time, put it more banks up, kind of all over the place, and just fit them everywhere. So by the time you get to the 4th tier, they're really not that important or efficient. You just want to stick with mostly 3rd tiers. But at the same time, it's wonky. Again, it just gets really confusing. So I know I'm getting kind of in-depth on banana farms here, but when I do see some comments that are somewhat misleading, I do at least have to jump in and talk about them for a quick second here. So the only other thing was, well, what is the most efficient cross path with a bottom path banana farm? And people were upset that I got the greater production. Ooh, why would you do that, Chris? That's just such an idiotic move. Well, again, if you're making money already, what's $5 grand going to matter by the end of the game? It's not going to matter at all. As long as you're spending money to make money, you're going to be happy. Technically, the more efficient banana farm cross path is the valuable bananas over the greater production, okay? I don't remember the exact number. It was something like, you know, if a normal efficiency is, for example, it takes 13 rounds to gather your money back, well then it was something like 12.7 rounds instead of like 13 rounds or something like that. Like it was a minor efficiency difference that really shouldn't matter in the long run in most games, but still something that you should sometimes keep in mind if you want to. But I think what you got to remember is that when you're building your base banana farms, when you're starting off your farms, if you don't feel like ever gathering money, then you want to start off with a 2-0 something because it's the most efficient low tier banana farm before you get to the 3rd tiers. So that's why I end up starting with these guys, is I don't do a 0-0-3 and then upgrade to a different cross path. I do a 2-0 0, and then get a 2-0-3. And that is, again, to me at least, a pretty significant difference here. So here we go. We're going to go Monkey Wall Street. Oh, man, I got way too in-depth about Banana Farm for a second there, man. But like I said, it is confusing no matter what. You can talk about efficiency a lot. I like to think that top paths are technically the most efficient. But I know that overall, if you use them properly, banks are actually better. So, you know, it depends on how you like to play the game, I suppose. Nonetheless, we are going to farm a little bit more, but I don't want to go too crazy. I don't need infinite money or anything like that. I need to make sure I can afford all 3 Dartling guns, a kind of high-tier, you know, engineer, and a somewhat high-tier perma-brew. Everything else is somewhat irrelevant. Somewhat irrelevant. All right, here we go. I think we're good. I think we're good on farms. I don't think I need to do anything else. And then another problem with banks, though, just as a quick thought here, is that you have to keep in mind whether or not you're using Benjamin. Because that just adds a whole new level of weirdness to banana farms that just shouldn't exist in the first place, man. Oh my god, it gets wonky. All right, we're officially on round 80. This is the end of a normal round right now. Exciting times. And we have to decide, well, now we're going to have to deal with real rounds. We're going to have to decide where we want to put our official Dartling guns. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put a somewhat back positioned Bloons Exclusion Zone. I think right here is going to be a good spot because it can see, you know, let's put it here. It can see more of the map and it's still going to be able to hit almost everything it wants to. And I think if I want to, I can easily move Pat around by selling him and rebuying him if I wish. I mean, the amount of experience you're getting at this point is still pretty drastic. But I wonder if that's going to be even worth it, man. Do I want to move Pat around or I want to just power somebody else up? But anyways, let's get this guy. Bloon Exclusion Zone with the faster spin barrel. And if you're going to get this guy, the main thing you want to do is you want to use the extra targeting, man. Target independent is great. Highly recommend it. It's delish. Worth 100%. But with this guy, we're definitely going to get another really, really nice 1, 2, 3, 4 with jungle drums. That's going to give us that lead popping power and kind of any other extra bonus we want to get. And realistically, this is going to take us probably up until around 100. So we don't have to think about things for a little while. I thought it was really weird, but if you like kind of look up here, it almost looks like my Dartling guns are just kind of like fuzzy or blurry or something like that. Doesn't it look kind of like weird and glitchy? But it's not. It's just the cannonballs are moving so fast over it that it almost kind of looks like everything's glitchy and weird here. Is that me or is that, I don't know, I thought that was funky. Anyways, what I've decided here is what we're going to do is we are going to get our Mad. We're going to sell this guy. I'm going to rebuy the Mad, and I think we're going to just put him right here. Again, next to Pat. Extra bonus, I'll always take it. It's not a bad positioning either way. My only problem with this guy is that I will have to do some manual aiming with him. I can't just lock him in place. I have to manually aim with the Mad here, and I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I could lock him in place like this, and for now it'll be okay, but in the long run, it's going to be a little difficult to actually position this guy and use him properly. Now, my last tower that we have to think about is going to be the Ray of Doom. And I gotta be straight with you guys on this one. This is probably the hardest map to decide. This may even be the position that's best. But where do you find the best straight line? I mean, you could put him here. You could shoot down straight lines this way and this way. I mean, you could put him here, kind of near the end, where you can hit as many balloons as you possibly can. But again, just not perfect any which way you look at it. And I think, you know, and then when you put him on the bottom end, I would prefer this. But you're gonna notice. One kind of crappy thing is, obviously, Dartling guns can't see through walls, and even if you get up to a 1, 2, 3, or 4, still can't see through walls, and Ray of Dooms have the same thing happen. You can't see through walls, so that also sucks. So we're going to have to position this guy in a different spot here, and I'm thinking this is probably my best bet. I don't need to put him in range for village unless I want to, or I can buy another village, you know, so, I mean, it just doesn't really matter all that much, but I think, again, this is probably going to get the most straight lines out of us, and I'm probably going to have to micro this guy as well. So, let's get him going here, guys, and this is the Ray of Doom. Look at that, man. Costs about 100 grand to get this puppy up, and the best cross path for this guy is definitely going to be our faster spin barrel. And now you are noticing the trifecta of Dartling guns. This is the true power. Oh, and look at this, though. You do have this log in the way. You definitely have to keep that in mind here, man. You can actually see through the... I didn't realize you could technically see through the logs, even though it tells you that you can't. Kind of. It looks like you can't. I mean, technically, you can see the red line kind of on the log right here. But it kind of like not right here, but it doesn't show it through the wall. Yeah, interesting. Nonetheless. Kind of makes me wonder what other towers can see through the logs if you actually look at them like that. Very fun. Nonetheless, the next step in our never-ending saga of high-level Dartling guns is going to be Engineer Tom. Alright, we're going to get this puppy up. We're going to go for a nice 5th tier Ultra Boost. And the way this guy works, if you guys don't know, is every time you use an Ultra Boost on a tower, it makes them not only more powerful for the time being, but it leaves an additional extra boost strength. Now, this is around 100 here, guys. This is the bad one. Woo! Woo! Now, that is beefy. Look at that, man. We wiped this guy out before he made the first turn. Great, great, great. But he's going to leave a residual extra attack speed for every single time you overclock up to a maximum of 10 times. So the goal in every single situation is to overclock every tower 10 times. That means we need at least 30 overclocks here to make this worthwhile, but I'm thinking probably a whopping 50 overclocks to make this all actually happen the way we want to. We want to overclock all 3 of our Dartling guns. We want to overclock Pat, and we also want to overclock, if possible, our village. Not a hugely important thing, but it just helps out that little tiny baby bit. And then last but not least, we also want to get a few more Alchemists going, and possibly our Permabrew. Oh, this was good, man. I didn't even try to do this. This just works out in our favor. We're going to buy a Permabrew as well, which is going to brew all of these Dartling guns. Now, normally you'd say, well, it's not a big deal, because you can end up using the heli pallet to move them around, but I don't have a heli pallet. So we actually have to position this guy properly. I didn't even think about that at all, but I'm really glad that I did this way. We have truly the trifecta of destruction at this point. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Loving it, man. All right, we got to keep up with these overclocks here. So our Bloon Exclusion Zone is about to get 10 times overdriven. Oh my god, 10 times. That means he shoots about roughly 2 times as fast as normal, just as a base stat. That's pretty freaking sweet if you ask me, man. It's going to make him quite powerful. Now, if we look at the pop count, I mean, these guys have not been around for the exact same amount of time as each other. Bloon Exclusion Zone's been around for the longest time, but I am curious about the pop count at this point. Also, my Ray of Doom definitely can't hit the balloons right as they're coming in here, kind of. I mean, technically speaking, if I want to not move at all. I'd rather leave him kind of in this general direction here. But pop count, really low for our Ray of Doom. Kind of makes sense. This guy's been actually attacking the entire game. We got 3,230,000. All right, pretty sweet. And the Bloon Exclusion Zone, 3 million and some odd thousand. Pretty. Oh, and then I realized my Mad also does not have his powerful darts combo here. All right, I kind of forgot about that. And Pat's level 20. He's got 100k, so he's doing something at least. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with this guy so far. Holy crap, we officially got him 10 times overclocked at this point. I just got him locked in place shooting backwards, which was not my original plan here. And he's got over almost 8 million pops. Woo! Woohoo! He's just about to break 8 million, man. You gotta wanna watch it happen, man? Wanna watch it? Alright, there it is, 8 mil. Just breaking it like that. If you look at the actual pop count here, we're probably like 10,000 like at his max pop count when he wants to get it. You know, when he's actually shooting all these guys, it's freaking ridiculous, dude. 10k a second. You know, and this guy, still only about 6 mil, but I think the main thing is this guy's killing almost all the balloons by himself. The balloons aren't even making it to the Bloon Exclusion Zone. I mean, technically speaking, they're kind of getting close enough to get attacked. But this guy is the true guy who's getting the brute force of the damage out of everything. Now, the last thing to keep in mind here is that my Ray of Doom, again, has very, very low pop count, but balloons really haven't gotten to him yet. You know, when you look at the balloons that are coming in here, when he finally does get to pop things, it's pretty high. And he's not overclocked. So I should mention this. Contrary to popular belief, the Ray of Doom can get Ray of Doom here. Okay? You can make him better. I know it might sound a little funky, but you can indeed make him stronger. He can technically shoot faster than he already does. So I'm not sure how they did it. I mean, I feel like it already has like such a rapid beam that like I didn't think you could make it even faster than the fastest frame in the game. But maybe that's not what's going on here. Maybe it's working a different way than usual or something like that. But Overall, this guy can get stronger, and you do want to use all of your buffs. Now again, I want you guys to remember your decision at the beginning of this video. How high did you think we were going to get? And what I want you to do is I want you to think to yourself, do you still think that we're going to get that high? Do you think we're going to get higher, or do you think we're going to lose faster? Think it out to your head, to yourself. You don't have to comment this time around, but just think it out and imagine what you're going to get to. Imagine what we're going to get to today. The late game gets really, really weird, and it gets very hard very quickly. And the reason for that is that every single round gets exponentially more difficult. The balloons are going to get stronger, so every oh my god that came out on round 80, and I don't know the exact numbers, but something like 20 times as strong on round 150 as they were on round 80. So every single balloon is going to be stronger. The oh my god layer, the BFB layer, the Moab layer, and just when you double their health with the reinforced aspect, then you just make it that much crazier. In addition, the balloons are also going to move quicker. So you end up with this really, really crazy exponential growth of balloon speed and health at the same time. And that's why late game ends up being so difficult. You usually almost are required to rely on a vengeful temple or a combination of slowdowns with some ice towers and stuff like that. But the biggest problem, I think, in the entire history of the world, was that there was zero way, in late game, zero way to slow down bad balloons. And if you guys don't know, that has officially been changed. There is one way that we can affect and slow down bad balloons here. I kind of wish that I had a nuclear sub here so I could make this come back a little bit quicker, just to kind of get a little bit further in this game. But this is how you do it, guys. We're going to wait for the next bad balloon and we're going to show it off here. It's going to be the Mad. The Mad's new monkey, I believe it's a monkey knowledge upgrade now that allows you to stun bad balloons with your ability. The only ability in the game that can do this. I think it's low powered. I still think that there probably should not be a way that you can stun bad balloons, but hey, I'm all for it, man. All right, still no bad balloons. Around 140 though, and you can tell we are starting to get to the point where we are not quite able to take down all of these balloons easily anymore. We're actually fighting against the grain almost. Here we go, first bad balloon. Wait a few seconds. I'm gonna go for our ability here. Boom. And I did not see the bad balloon get stunned at all. What the heck? What the heck? What is going on? Oh my god. Alright, we're putting him on manual micro right now. Alright, maybe I'm wrong about that, man. I could have sworn that they're supposed to be able to stun bad balloons now. What? What? Why is this happening to me? Oh crap. Alright, we gotta start doing some major overclocking at this point. We're gonna overclock, overclock, and overclock. And this was definitely something that I had to do right from the get-go here, guys. Plan my overclocks out, and I've got to get ready for my home lane. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. I want this guy to be a regular old 1, 2, 3, 4. I want this guy to be a regular old 1, 2, 3, 4. And then randomly somewhere else, I'm going to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're also actually going to do this. We're going to get 1, 2, and 3. 3 more engineers up to 4th here. Money does not matter at this point, so it's all about just spend it on whatever the heck you want, man, and make sure you can actually press the ability buttons if you desire. You know, so here we go. We got. I actually don't want this guy anymore. Actually, you know what? I can overdrive Pat and my village still. Gotta remember to do that, man. But now continuously, kind of get all of our villages going in here. Non-stop, and keep on overclocking every single one of our Dartling guns. The micro here is very difficult. Okay, let me try to do this again. It's not stunning the bad balloon. What? I gotta look that over again. I could have sworn that this guy's supposed to be able to stun bad balloons, and maybe it doesn't do it beyond 100 or something like that, or maybe it's just not stunning as much as I want him to. I don't know. Let me try again here. I mean, to me, it does not look like it's stunning at all. Yeah, I'm a little upset. A little sad. All right, more overclocks, non-stop. 777, and then, oh my god, I feel like I'm a Malak commercial right now. 777. Rum, rum, rum. Jump, 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 da, da, da. Or the Scooby-Doo song, I guess. Either way. Use the abilities pretty much non-stop at this point, guys. Everything you've got here. I want to, at the very least, make it to 150. All right, 150! Check out this Moab Storm when we get it going, man. It's freaking ridiculous. All right, Homeland defense as well. Going strong. Bad Bloons, I wouldn't say they're easy right now, but we're actually doing a good job against them. It's really the Bad Bloons that we're struggling against. The DDTs, excuse me. The DDTs we're struggling against. Bad Bloons, we got enough time to kind of react against them here. Homeland defense popping in. All right, let's use everything we got. Overclock, overclock, overclock. So far, surviving. Let's look at the pop counts really quick. We've got, oh my god, $41 million. Yeah, 41 million pops. Keep on overclocking. 1, 2, 3. Oh, what does this guy got? Only 11 million, though? Oh, man, that's actually a little sad here. What's he doing? 11 mil? That's like chump change at this point in the game. And then our Bloon Exclusion Zone, 25 million. Obviously doing pretty well here. But it's actually kind of interesting to see that the Ray of Doom is actually doing the worst. 160. We're still going, but I cannot say that we are going strong at this point, guys. This is getting down to the nitty-gritty. It's all about how well do I use my abilities. Can I press all the abilities in the right time here? Will I actually micro properly? All of this stuff is adding up to being, obviously, an absolute nightmare. And I don't know how much further I really want to push it, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if we're going to make it to 170. I can pretty much tell you that much. 170. I didn't think we were going to make it here, to be 100% honest with you guys. I really didn't. But we're still going. It's very, very close, though. Every single round is like an, oh my god, this has got to be it, guys. This has got to be it. Using my abilities here to my absolute max. These DDTs are getting stunned at the very last second. Homeland defense needs to be used every single time I have it available. And then Pat's ability, that's the thing that I probably use the least out of everything. But I probably should use him more than I've been using him. Also, I've been manually microing here this entire time. I've got this guy on the target independent, but I'm manually microing everything else. And I'm using all of my abilities on my own. So, no sentry bots for Chris. I have no ability to use powers here. I just can't use them on challenges here. So, I've got that going for me. And honestly, at this point, it's like, yes, we could probably squeeze another round down if I just kept, like, trying and retrying. But is it even worth it at this point? I don't know. I don't know. It's not like I'm going for the highest round of all time or anything. Just the highest Dartling gun round here. All right. Keep it going. Stay alive. Stay alive. My mad is literally chasing here. All right, here we go. 7. Get an 8 going. Pat's doing great so far. I've been upgrading Pat this entire time. He is officially 10 times overclocked as well. I've got 4 towers 10 times overclocked. I just started overclocking my village, even though I really should have done that a lot earlier than what I was doing right here. But it doesn't really do much. It just makes your range bigger. So I was hoping to get my Ray of Doom in range here, but I'll place it. All right, here we go. Keep it going. Use Pat's ability. Use everything you got, man. Oh, my goodness gracious. Pat, get him up, baby. Every ability is going strong. I can't even, like, aim my Ray of Doom. It's just, like, throw it out there, Chris. Throw it out there. All right, the Mad is going to keep us alive here. Stunning all these Moabs like a freaking boss. Woo! 175! But I think this is it, guys. I don't see us doing this. I don't see it. I just don't see it. This is a tough one, man. And we'd have to do this, like, literally perfect at this point to keep on surviving here. There is a real possibility that, like, another couple rounds could be squeezed out. But how hard do we want to push it, man? How hard do we want to go? I don't know. I don't know. All right, keep on using our abilities here. The stunnings are great. The Bad Bloons are usually the big problem for us. Oh, my God. It requires almost nearly an epic micro. I wish I could, like, train a bot just to micro for me, just, like, aim everything better than what's possible. We're going to have to do that. We're going to have to use this ability. We're going to have to use our homeland defense as well. Everything's got to go. And we're going to keep on overclocking Pat as well. Another bad balloon coming out. Shouldn't be a big deal for us. That other bad balloon's just about dead, but these DDTs are pretty wild here. So we're going to use our ability as well. Every ability we've got at this point. Keep on overclocking. 1, 2, and 3. Use Homeland Defense. See if we can keep these guys alive. Get Pat angry as well. Every little bit of damage we can squeeze out is ideal at this point. And it looks like 176 is destroyed. Yes. No, don't tell me we can make 180, man. I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'm going to give it a shot, but again, next time I'll actually lose. I'm done. I'm done. You know, whether or not my micro was good or not, I'm done. We're going to call it. Oh, man. Oh, there it is. The DDT stuck through. Oh, man, I knew it was coming. Oh my god, they're so fast. It's almost impossible to micro all those abilities all at the same time. I felt bad because I had Homeland Defense up and I had Pat's ability up too. And I still ended up struggling and losing at 177. I think 180 would be possible, but I just don't really think it's worth it to try and push it and make it into a video right now for you guys. If you guys did end up enjoying this though, make sure you press that like button for me. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, have a super duper delicious day. 177 though, man. Delicious.